No. No, no, no. And even it happened today. She only calls on, for the most part, reporters in the front row who are friendly to her, with certain exceptions that she can't avoid. But there are plenty of people who don't get called on. Like this guy, for 15 months, Simon Ateba. Well, he's from a legitimate news organization. He has a White House pass.
6:30 tomorrow morning. Rob is going to be here on this couch, so you're going to want to catch that. We'll see you next week. Same time, same place.
Hi, I'm Jane King, and this is New to the Street, in person back here at the NASDAQ market site in New York City. This show is all about public, private, blockchain companies, the CEOs, the founders, and the innovators, bringing you lots of opportunities to consider. Here we go. SEKUR is a way to protect your instant messages, your email. They don't data collect, so it's particularly good for businesses that are looking to discuss some confidential information. And with me, the CEO of SEKUR, Langahi, to talk about let's talk about the hacks, because it seems like every day there's something. Some places getting hacked, millions gone. What kind of things are you seeing lately, these hacks?
So hi everyone for watching us, and thank you for listening to us. So what happened is the latest news has been the hack of remote work. There's a big trend on remote work. Even though COVID has abated a lot, now companies have that habit of, people are going to work from home in hybrid mode. So 3 days a week you're going to be home. I was watching yesterday on Bloomberg, and they said 18 to 24-year-olds, if they can't work from home, they want to change their job. So this kind of work from home is going to stay with us. Mm-hmm. And the problem is the same problem we had during COVID, where you would call your credit card company and it's an overseas operator in India or the Philippines. They were shut down, and they don't have the infrastructure and the security in their home of highly encrypted communication. Obviously, they're in a small place and they just have basic internet. So hackers had a field day the last 2-3 years. Now they're discovering that half of the population wants to work from home. And the problem is, when you're home and you have a router, first of all, the most popular password is password. Okay. And sometimes it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. So you don't have a highly secure internet connection. Then you also mix. For example, you have an email, you use your Outlook, but then you're going to go on your WhatsApp to quickly chat with your coworker. Because if you and I are in an office, Jane, we basically can go to another room, have a conference, and do face-to-face meeting. Now it's all through chat and email. So it makes it's like a paradise for hackers. They intercept everything, they hack, they data mine whatever you have, they go into your phone through these free big tech chat applications that we all use, and then eventually, you get a big hack and it costs a company millions of dollars. You mentioned earlier that it costing millions. The global economy in 2021 suffered a $6 trillion loss from real money that was stolen and loss of productivity. Yeah. The cyber hacking business is massive.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting, the work from home trend. Now, do SEKUR products, can they help with that?
Absolutely. Okay. And I'll tell you how, because what happened is when you use SEKUR, with your secure send button, for example, you basically can send an email to somebody who is not part of Secure. You go on your webmail. We have an application actually coming mid-June that you don't even have to go on the webmail anymore. And you send to somebody who has Gmail or Outlook or Hotmail, and that person receives a notice. They click on a link, and they can read your message, get as many attachments as you send them, and then they can reply, all of that without having to use Secure. So it's a great way to protect the sender and the receiver.
Yeah.
You know, our viewers can go on secure.com. You can go to the support page. We have a video tutorial, and you just check to see how to use Secure Send.
Yeah.
And it's a part of our normal email service. Now, when you use chat, we all use these free applications, right? We're not going to name them all. Essentially, what happens is not everybody has Secure Messenger, right? So what happens is you should be able to chat with somebody securely. So we invented something called chat by invite. So if I have Secure Messenger and you don't, I can send you a text. You will get a text. You'll click on a link, and then we chat together.
Okay.
So it's a pretty amazing
it's encrypted
tool.
on both ends.
It's encrypted on both ends, yeah, basically you don't need, the recipient doesn't need to download Secure. But then when you're done with your conversation, you can basically terminate the conversation and nobody can get in.
Okay. Now, one thing I think about is, like, I've got this email system years. Is there a way that I can use Secure and, like, transport all of those contacts over? Okay, you can do that.
Absolutely. So if you have whatever email you have, you can use Secure. You can migrate your old email. You can also, obviously now we launch business emails, and you can also migrate your domain name with us. And if you're just creating a new business, you can basically create your domain, which you bought already, and you configure your email with us. It's super easy to do. You don't need to be an IT technical person to migrate your emails. I would still recommend people to have one of these free email service, because you're going to sign up for newsletter, for gym membership, for anything else. And I would use that free email, which is not private at all, for these kind of things. Because what's happening, unfortunately, is marketers sell your emails. Like my secure email, I keep it as private as possible.
Okay.
I have another email when I sign up for services.
Got it. So use like that kind of throwaway email for the extra stuff, but any business or confidential.
And also our email comes with 100 gigabyte of storage. It comes with a privacy tool like Secure Send. It has a bunch of cool tools. The Secure module lets you know when you send Secure Send to someone, it'll let you know if they saw it, when they saw it. You can recall an email. We have archiving capability that we're launching as well. So you can be an individual, a small business, or a huge enterprise and still have all the tools that you need. As a matter of fact, in Latin America, we're starting to sell quite a lot of the Secure Messenger and now the email as well. These are used by government entities and big companies.
Okay. Thank you, Ilan. Congratulations and best of luck.
Thank you, Jane. Thanks, everyone, for watching.
Keeping your four-legged friends healthy can certainly be a challenge, especially with painful joint diseases like osteoarthritis. If you see a change in your animal's mobility, contact your veterinarian and don't wait. Today, veterinarians have a new tool against joint disease. Introducing Spring with OsteoCushion technology. The natural-derived product has the ability to help your animal move more freely. Put the spring back in their lives for a longer, happier life.
Growing clones in-house can severely drain both quality and costs for cannabis and hemp businesses. PharmaGreen Biotech is the key to growing high-quality plantlets. PharmaGreen services includes premium tissue cultured starter plantlets and live preservation of any plant species. Grow into the future of optimized plant growth with PharmaGreen. See our update at update.pharmagreen.ca.
Travis Mills is a retired U.S. Army soldier who became a quadruple amputee while serving in Afghanistan. And he speaks across the country, motivating others to live by his motto, never give up, never quit. And with me is Travis Mills. It's so great to meet you.
Well, I appreciate that. Thanks for having me.
It's awesome. So let's start with why you're in New York. So you're celebrating a live day.
Yeah.
Explain what that
yeah.
is.
So 10 years ago in April, actually, I got blown up by an IED. I lost portions of both arms and both legs.
So this is April 2012? 2012.
Okay. Yep. And, I just had a bad day at work, case of the Mondays. And when I woke up in the hospital 4 days later after the fact, I was, questioning a lot of things, like, why didn't I just die? It was a big one, just like Forrest Gump, right, with Lieutenant Dan. And then fast forward 10 years, I used to hate my live day. I used to not want to celebrate it. I used to not want to talk about it because my birthday's 4 days after that. So I woke up actually in the hospital on my 25th birthday, my actual alive day, if you will. And as year 7, 8, 9, 10 hit, it's more about gratitude. It's more about, wow, I'm so grateful to still be here. How lucky am I to still be alive? Considering a lot of my friends didn't make it back home and they don't have the chance to be with their loved ones. I have a wife now of 14 years, a daughter that's 10 years old. She was 6 months old when I got hit.
Okay.
And then my son now is 4. So just, life goes on. And I think, we're just kind of celebrating and go around New York City. And I got to go to the museum. And
you went 9/11 Museum.
Yep, 9/11 Museum, sorry. And yeah, it was a good time, just amazing.
So, and I'm glad you shared that about your family. I was going to ask you about that because I think that all makes us, okay, we're glad we're alive and we're here to experience this. Now, 9/11 was the thing that really kind of motivated you to join the military, right?
Yeah, I mean, I never thought I would join the military during a peacetime, if you will. I thought I was going to be in the NFL, but that didn't work out. And then I was just trying to find something that was my calling. And then I just was like, military, they need people and I want to go. Mm-hmm. And I had a really great conversation with a recruiter and it went well and I joined. And I actually ended up really liking it. I went 3 times to Afghanistan with the 82nd Airborne Division. And just unfortunately the third time got me, if you will.
So this was a roadside bomb, or what happened exactly?
Yeah, so we were on patrol and came to a short halt, if you will.
Is that in Afghanistan?
Yep, in Afghanistan. I saw my backpack on the ground, 120-pound backpack, landed on top of a bomb, and it went off. Fast forward after the hours of surgery and all that, I became a quadruple amputee, and I'm one of 5 to survive quadruple amputation. And then I had 19 months recovery at Walter Reed. Yeah.
Amazing. Tell me about that process, because you mentioned it was a couple years you were kind of like, why me and things like that. How'd you process all of that?
Actually, at Walter Reed, I was someone that was respected and looked up to, and they asked me to go talk to a lot of the people that got injured. So I didn't have the why me aspect more than 2 weeks really. But the alive day I didn't enjoy because why would I want to celebrate or think about the day I got injured? I'm moving on with life, and that's in the past. And just for a while, I didn't, because my birthday was in 4 days. So I'm like, no, I'm going to celebrate my buddy Scott Mallory's birthday on the 10th, and that's it. And then you hit the later years, and you realize, wow, how fortunate. My buddy Francis, Gene Phillips IV, he didn't make it back home to his wife and 4-year-old. And I mean, I learned how to walk with my daughter, and that's huge for me. So I think it's more
kind of a cool memory, actually.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And me and her are best friends, and take her gymnastics and everything. And then now my wife and I decided to have more children. So we had my son. Oh, she did. I mean, but we have our son Dax. He's named after the medics, Daniel and Alexander.
Okay.
And the truth is, I told my wife to leave me. I didn't want to have, I didn't want her to deal with this kind of a burden. And she's, decided that's not how this works. So at 23 years old, she's like, no, we're gonna get this together. Yeah. And here we are. 10 years later, and doing pretty well. We have a foundation, the Travis Mills Foundation, and I own a few businesses as well. So
no, I want to talk about all that too. So let's talk about the foundation. When did you start it? What's its mission?
Yeah, I appreciate that. So the Travis Mills Foundation started when I was still at the hospital. And we wanted to give back because we saw so many people doing amazing things. And we started it for care packages. And we did a $5,000 donation from us to send care packages to the guys that I served with overseas in their new units. And then I went and learned how to downhill mountain bike and monoski and snowboard and all these cool things. And
it's amazing.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's more than I do.
And my wife got to go on these trips with me because I was injured so bad. And I realized that I was lucky to be injured so bad that my wife got to go. And I thought, I'm only doing this stuff because I can still do it with my family.
Yeah.
And we decided to bring some families to Maine and show them an adaptive, retreat and bring their families with them. And it went so well that we bought a facility in 2017. We opened officially after like a bunch of renovations and everything. And now we're a world-class retreat for veterans that have been through physical injuries due to service. And we bring up 8 families per week. We've helped over 800 families. It's, all donation-based. I don't take $1 for, the work that we do. Mm-hmm. And I'm the founder and president, I guess. But, we do a lot of awesome things, and we're just so grateful to have the support that we have.
Any final thoughts? I mean, what can you give, people, advice about getting through a difficult situation?
Well, I think we all have problems that we go through. Mm-hmm. And I don't think my problems outweigh or overshadow anybody else's. So if anybody's having a hard time, go to my website, travismills.org. Go to my Instagram and Facebook handles and all the stuff that I have going on, because I do fun videos.
You have a lot of YouTube videos. So.
I do have a lot of YouTube videos. I started TikTok. I got to work on that. I'm going to do a Humpty Dumpty one where I fall off a wall and they can't get me back together. It's coming. But I think with life, there's always challenges, but I think you got to find just how to get through them and cope with them and do the best you can. And a friend of mine just lost his foot from diabetes. He lost his foot, and I called him and said, believe it or not, the worst part's over. I said, now your foot's gone. Yeah. That it's gone. You don't have to worry about when they're going to take it. I said, now it's just about recovery. It's accepting what happened and moving forward. And a big thing is I don't ever question why this happened anymore, because it gets me nowhere. Yeah. And I just kind of move on with life. So I gave you a lot of stuff there. I wasn't very pointed on that one.
That's wonderful, Travis. I mean, you're an inspiration. So thank you so much for everything you've done for the country and everything you're doing for the country now.
Well, thanks so much. And check this out. It doesn't even hurt. The first time I fell off, it did. And check, also fist bump, right?
Yeah.
But we're not going to blow it up. I've already done that. We're just going to jellyfish that away instead.
Okay. Yeah.
No, thanks for your time.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Glint has developed proprietary technology that enables everyone to buy gold. Gold that's stored in Brink's vaults, insured by Lloyd's of London. With Glint's app and debit card, peace of mind is just a few taps away. It's easy to protect your hard-earned savings, and there are no minimums, hidden fees, or financial advisors required. To learn how to safeguard your future, go to glintpay.com or download Glint from your favorite app.
Peng Xiong is the CEO of Ignite, leading a world-class team that builds intuitive solutions for individuals, organizations, global communities to engage with blockchain technology. And with me is Peng. Great to see you again.
Great to see you, Jane. Happy to be here.
So let's start with, you launched just this new initiative just recently, right? Ignite Accelerator. Tell us what that is and why you decided to launch that program.
Yeah, so Ignite Accelerator is something I'm super excited about. It wouldn't be possible without many of our partners. We launched it with about 11 partners, including Alameda Research, KuCoin Ventures, OKX, and Hashkey Capital, among others. It's a $150 million fund focused on investing into developer teams or smaller groups of individuals who are building multi-chain blockchain solutions. So the reason why this is under the Ignite brand is because, we've learned so much building blockchains ourselves using Cosmos technology, and we're here to help, the next 100 projects.
Interesting.
Reach success.
This is going to be one of those things that helps propel blockchain technology, I think, to where we all know it could go and just isn't quite there yet because it's so new. That's right.
We've learned so much building blockchains ourselves, and we're building these tools, right, that make it easier and easier for people around the world to do it themselves. We found the pain points, we know how difficult it is to get things going, and we're going to help and support people through this process and really help them get to the end state, to a successful, sustainable project faster than expected.
Yeah. And this is the first time you've done something kind of to help launch more innovation in this space. So tell me about some of the other things that your team has done.
Yeah, so we've been putting together, slowly over time, a very comprehensive solution to get developers from zero to a successful project. One of the other projects that we have are, one of our core products, Ignite CLI, fully free and open source product. It allows you to leverage the powerful Cosmos technology that powers, I think, 43 interconnected blockchains right now, and makes that easier for you to use. So that's meant for hobbyists, people who want to try out something on their weekend, people, let's say, from the Web2 world that want to dive into Web3, right? We provide that solution for them. And the other thing that we have on the other end of the spectrum, right? Something called Ignite Ventures. So this is when you're, a lot more serious. Maybe you already have a team put together and you're building something. You need some capital from, a team that is experienced building this stuff. So where the accelerator fits in is right in the middle between those two, right? So if you're not a hobbyist, but also you don't have a serious project put together yet, you may want to consider being part of the accelerator, meeting your co-founders. It's meant to be fun and a great way to meet the other people that have contributed capital because they've learned so much as well.
Well, I imagine there are quite a few people in that space too, more than a hobby, but not quite at, full business yet with it. So it should be a pretty large group. Now, what are some of the other solutions that Ignite has developed? How are they beneficial to innovation as well?
Yeah, so the ventures arm, right, does more than just investments. I mentioned before, we have a track record of building and launching successful projects. Not all of them are projects that stay within the company forever, right? We do incubation as well. So in fact, incubation over the past year and a half has been where we've been learning the most. So incubation is a little bit more, arm's length away, where we help a project launch internally and help them become independent on their own. And the accelerator, which, we've launched last week, is a more process-oriented, structured way of doing that in a way that we can scale to more teams.
Okay. I'll look forward to our next interview where you can update me on some of those things, Fung.
Glint has developed proprietary technology that enables everyone to buy gold. Gold that's stored in Brink's vaults, insured by Lloyd's of London. With Glint's app and debit card, peace of mind is just a few taps away. It's easy to protect your hard-earned savings, and there are no minimums, hidden fees, or financial advisors required. To learn how to safeguard your future, go to glintpay.com or download Glint from your favorite app store.
Welcome, everyone, to New to the Street. I'm Anna Berry. Joining us is A Nation. It utilizes crypto to propel filmmaking to a decentralized future. Please welcome its co-founder of the company, Chuck Russell, and the founder, Cade Vu. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you. Good to be here.
All right. So I see one of your taglines is the winds of change. Tell us a little bit about what motivated you to establish A Nation and what exactly does it stand for?
Well, Cade, you want to take that?
I guess for a little bit. A Nation, essentially, we decided we wanted creativity to stand up before anything else and return it back to its glory, where, we wanted to allow it to be the precursor or the primary goal for what we're doing with film instead of monetary gain as much.
I've been producing and directing films in Hollywood for years, both independent and studio films. And one thing, the change is always the case. Change is a fact in Hollywood. Every 10 years, there's new sources of equity finance, new talent, new technology. And it's thrilling now to look at the whole crypto universe and imagine that being the engine to new films and a way of actually decentralizing the creativity, bringing in new talent, bringing in new filmmakers.
And hash that out a little bit. Tell us both about your backgrounds. How did it lead to you being here today, especially with the film industry kind of emerging into this potential decentralized future? Tell us about it.
I have directed films like The Mask with Jim Carrey, Scorpion King with Dwayne Johnson, many others, and produced films like Collateral with Tom Cruise. And I got my start in independent film on Nightmare on Elm Street 3. The independence always are searching for new sources of equity. Those films are made with a combination of pre-sales tax credits and the mysterious element of equity money. And I think crypto can drive and present opportunities for new kinds of films, new filmmakers, without the traditional bottleneck of Hollywood studios.
I got into it because about a year and a half ago, I really started diving into blockchain and what its purpose and why it's special. And then I started taking classes on it, and I realized to be able to utilize the blockchain technology for transparency, for even anti-piracy, to protect film is one of the biggest issues that we have. A bunch of other things with decentralized voting and whatnot. And I just saw on the writing on the wall how things were kind of developing and changing over time. And then I came in, Chuck called me in because we did a film together, and we were doing ADR, and suddenly we just started talking about crypto. He was NFT, and then I got into crypto, and I was like, you should look into blockchain and what it's able to do for the film industry. So we just went doop doop, and then it was like just went on for hours, and we didn't stop. And at that moment, A Nation was essentially born.
Wonderful. What does A Nation mean? What does it stand for?
A nation of alphas, leaders. The new beginning is the Greek. Alpha is the beginning, the Greek word. Alpha, beta, omega. We are not in the middle. We're not following. We're going to lead this change, this huge change that can actually allow other industries to see us as a case study to prove how well blockchain technology can help with so many things.
Well, speaking of that, I'm sure there might be a few other companies out there doing something similar, but tell us why you are unique, how you're innovative, and how you all stand out amongst the rest.
Chuck, can I take this one too?
Of course.
The biggest separation between other companies, even other crypto, is this. We have a man who has a proven track record. Crypto is based on what? Hypotheticals, potential, right? All of it's hypotheticals and potential. We don't have hypotheticals and potential. We have fact. He has grossed over $1 billion worldwide from his films. It's proven. All we need to prove now is the marriage of crypto and film.
I certainly hope that this is the first of many interviews so we can follow you along this exciting journey. So thank you both so much for your time and this great technology that you're bringing to us, because we all love movies, and we all want to figure out a way to keep them going, but up to date, right?
Exactly.
Thinking outside the mold, outside the box. All right. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on New to the Street.
Pleasure meeting you. Thank you for having us.
SEKUR, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. SEKUR is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using proprietary military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. SEKUR doesn't collect or sell your data and doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. You can message and email non-secure users privately without the need for others to download SEKUR. Visit SEKUR.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
The technology behind Rigo payment architecture enables banks, retailers, families as well, to be able to offer digital wallets. And in particular, they have a product, Missoula, that is geared toward families and protection of kids. And with me is Stuart Harvey, the chairman of the board of advisors for Rigo Payment Architecture. Welcome, Stuart. Great to have you here.
It's a pleasure to be here.
You have a lot of experience in kind of the payment space. Give me a synopsis of your career.
Well, I'm a payments guy. My entire career has focused on financial technology, payments, related software businesses. So I've run companies like Elavon, which is a very traditional credit and debit card processor. I ran Ceridian Corporation, and our payment subsidiary was Comdata, which was one of the largest fleet card issuers. Most recently, I was the chairman of the board of PaySafe, which is now public. And that focuses on digital wallet solutions, credit and debit card processing, as well as prepaid cards, which we call our eCash solution.
Okay.
So I've done a lot around payments and fintech, and I just love the industry.
And so that led you to the chairman position of Rigo. And tell me about what attracted you to that. Someone with your extensive experience, why was this a special opportunity?
Well, I think, Jane, you get to a point in your career, how do I take this payments experience, payments knowledge, industry knowledge, and a fair amount of capital markets experience? How do you do some good with that? What can you apply to do good? And Rigo just captivated me with the management team and their board, with Peter Palullo and his team, Steve Kravitz. They are all about protection of children.
Yeah.
And it's their whole mission is about the protection of children in a payments environment. So as I looked into it, I looked at the functionality of what Missoula, their payment button and their payment application does, their product, and what the Rigo platform does. And I became not just enamored with it, but so supportive of just the idea of what they do. And it really is about protection of children when they're engaged in online commerce. So anytime a child is making some kind of payment or buying something or something or responding to a promotion on the internet and they want to effect a payment, it should be COPPA compliant. And that's the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. And Missoula is the only app, the only payment button, the only digital wallet solution that is fully compliant with COPPA. So that to me is very meaningful. I mean, the issues around children and children abuse are very, very substantial.
Yeah.
Children are abused in this country every day by the millions. They're trafficked. Some it leads they're abused to the point of death. It's incredibly sad. And by using the Missoula pay function and using the application there, inappropriate data, let alone their identity, is not revealed.
Yeah.
And these kids deserve protection.
No, for sure. And I mean, because there are other options out there for kids' wallets, but they will market to them based on where they're making purchases. There are some other information that could be released, like their location or maybe their home. I mean, so Missoula, that's what makes them unique.
Yes.
So that's a really important thing. I mean, where else can the platform be used in terms of Rigo? Because I guess they do things other than Missoula.
Well, it actually helps parents. It starts with parents and the parent-child relationship, because parents can really use it as a tool. They can be aware of what children are authorized to spend, how much they're allowed to spend, so they have control. They see there's transparency about how the use of the app is and the payment button is used. It also protects merchants. It's a two-sided network, because if a merchant adopts this, they know that they're compliant. They don't have to worry about being fined or having some regulatory issues with this. But to your point, I mean, banks can use this. Anyone in the payment value chain that's driving commerce, anywhere in that ecosystem, payments ecosystem, the Missoula application or the pay button has a place there, as dedicated to the protection of children.
All right, so, and that's where the architecture comes in, that it's really available to anybody. And what kind of information then can they get from that if it's not a child? 'Cause adults could use this too.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Well, again, it's not children's identity. It's not personal information. What retailers like are just kids' spending habits, right? What are trends in the industry? What are, COPPA goes up to the age of 13. Okay, so it's interesting how much kids influence parents' buying behavior, right? Whether it's video games, whether it's other types of sports equipment or whatever they're buying online, it's amazing the data. So there is data that's captured, but it's not personal data. It's not identity. It's not things that would violate the COPPA legislation.
Just basically what a business would want to know, but nothing that would violate.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, tell me about so you mentioned COPPA, and then we know Europe has the GDPR.
Right.
What's going on in terms of legislation in Congress about data and kids?
Well, great question. You know what? We live in this polarized political society, right? And there's hard to find Congress agreeing on anything. But the good news for us and the good news for kids is the COPPA legislation, the GDPR for kids legislation, is one of the very few bipartisan efforts that really is gaining strength.
Okay.
Both sides of Congress view the protection of children and children's data to be paramount, to make it a priority. So even though this COPPA Act was developed back in 1998 and GDPR came later, It's actually getting enforced more and more.
Okay.
The FTC is the enforcement authority. There's all kinds of fines that have been doled out to companies like TikTok or YouTube or even Weight Watchers if they misappropriate data. And not only are they protecting up to the age of 13 right now, there's a lot of bipartisan legislation that's in process that would raise the age to the protection up to the age of 16.
Okay.
And you think about the buying universe between 13 and 16, no one else is really covering that. So there's to your point, there's other digital wallet solutions. There's PayPal, there's others that are very good, but they're not dedicated to the protection of children. And that's where I think Rigo is very special.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming in.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
SEKUR, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. SEKUR is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using proprietary military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. SEKUR doesn't collect or sell your data and doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. You can message and email non-secure users privately without the need for others to download SEKUR. Visit SEKUR.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
Clones in-house can severely drain both quality and costs for cannabis and hemp businesses. PharmaGreen Biotech is the key to growing high-quality plantlets. PharmaGreen services includes premium tissue cultured starter plantlets and live preservation of any plant species. Grow into the future of optimized plant growth with PharmaGreen. See our update at update.pharmagreen.ca.
AITX, Artificial Intelligence Tech Solutions, an innovator in the delivery of artificial intelligence-based solutions. Specifically, the company provides security robots, both hardware and software, for businesses, other organizations as well. And with me is CEO Steve Reinhardt to bring us up to date. So great to see you again.
Good to see you again, Jane.
So, there's been a lot happening since the last time we talked, I don't know, 6 months or so ago. So, I mean, just tell me, like, where AITX is right now.
I think that we are on the edge of a breakout in sales and adoption.
Okay.
I think that breakout will come in stages and steps. And I think that we've kind of been, like, cruising along with early innovators, with the new solutions that we've come out with, the with the awards that we've recently won, with the leads generated from last week's show in Las Vegas. Just every indicator appears to me of big orders and substantial momentum about to happen.
Okay, you mentioned the award, and I actually saw that a press release come through. So what was that award? What was that all about?
It's for our second generation device that's named AVA and stands for Autonomous Verified Access. This device is in such hot demand right now because it removes the requirement of guard gates to actually have a human guard in the gate.
Okay.
So we're processing vehicles, both logistics vehicles and residential vehicles at homeowners associations through this intelligent autonomous device that has so many different features, much like a human would, but of course at a dramatically lower price.
Yeah, okay. And then you mentioned you had some new products as well?
Yeah, you know, our Rad Light My Way solution just seems to be getting a ton of attention. We recently won a couple of awards on Rad Light My Way as well.
Okay.
Last year we won the CBRE Innovation of the Year Award, and then I think last week we won 2 awards from Campus Safety and Security as well, talking about how well that solution is going to play in different types of environments.
Okay, what is Rad Light My Way? How does that work?
Sure. Rad Light My Way is the only solution that I know of, and I've been in security 27 years now, that actually pushes real security into the hands of the people needing security.
Okay.
So it's the only application where you could pop up cameras at, say, the parking lot or the path of travel, so that you could make your own determination based on the situational awareness that you now have, whether or not it's safe for you to proceed.
Okay. Now, there's been an increase in crime in many, many cities. So that, I mean, campuses, subways, I mean, the Rad Light My Way would be one way that would help with people with that.
Significantly so.
Okay. And how, I mean, could I go buy one of these? Like, how does it work?
The facility that you're going to work for or visit or however it is, they put it in place and they give you access to it.
Okay. All right. And then, so just tell me a little bit, like, what's next for the company, AITX?
What's next is execution.
Okay.
Is bringing in the sales, creating the production, deliveries, you know. We recently announced, or a couple months ago announced, that we're bringing in 1,000 injection molded shells of our highest selling product. So those are going to arrive in the next couple of months.
Okay.
We want to get those produced and out the door.
Okay, so you'll fill those with the software and everything that's needed?
We hope
so.
so.
How does it work? Okay.
We hope so. That's the plan.
Okay. And then, I mean, just talk to me about the company in general. I know we've talked about, because you have, what, like 5 or 6 different security-type robots?
We do,
Give me kind of a brief update on each one of those.
So we've got, 4 stationary, what we call robots, and then the 1 mobile robot.
Okay.
Let's talk about the mobile one real quick.
Okay.
Romeo.
Okay.
It's big. It's 1,000 pounds. It's 7 feet tall. We've got multiple deployments that have happened over the last 6 weeks or so. Multiple deployments coming up over the next few weeks. A big funnel that we're working to close on the sales side. Very exciting.
Okay. And they kind of fit different needs for different groups.
Yeah.
Like one may be a parking lot monitor, one may be more of an individual thing like Light My Way.
Right.
So you're kind of addressing a lot of different security.
The whole idea behind AITX is creating a platform. And then, depending on the needs of the facility, we have a form that fits that need. It all runs the same platform. And then what we hope to do with one of our subsidiaries is create an OEM piece and allow other manufacturers build their own devices, come into our network.
Well, thank you so much for coming back, and congratulations on the awards.
Thank you, Jenkins.
Glint has developed proprietary technology that enables everyone to buy gold. Gold that's stored in Brink's vaults, insured by Lloyd's of London. With Glint's app and debit card, peace of mind is just a few taps away. It's easy to protect your hard-earned savings, and there are no minimums, hidden fees, or financial advisors required. To learn how to safeguard your future, go to glintpay.com or download Glint from your favorite app store.
Global Diversified Marketing Group, a consumer packaged goods company. Discover our world-class brands at 360worldsnacks.com and easylive.com.
No Limit Technology allows you to invest in a new game-changing sports betting protocol. And with me is the CEO, Raphael Grossfort, to explain more about this. And Raphael, tell me about the No Limit betting protocol. What makes it unique?
First of all, Jane, thank you very much for having me. It's always a pleasure talking to you and exciting. The No Limit betting protocol essentially is designed to take what crypto has done to finance, which has created a whole alternative method of storage of value, of movement of money, efficient, there's no clocks, there's no weekends, it's 7/24, and really apply that innovation, that breakthrough in technology onto the gaming world, the gambling world, to the point where players will no longer require to send their money up to the platform and always retain possession or control of your money, allowing you to explore multiple options in terms of where's the best deal. Because in the current scenario, you can only bet where you've sent your money and you're locked out of potentially a much better deal from another sports platform. So what we aim to bring is a protocol where we're going to build an exchange on top of that, but really anybody's going to be able to build their own gaming exchange, including existing operators. I mean, the DraftKings of the world, MGMs, they're welcome to move away from the custodial model to the non-custodial model and build on our protocol. And it's going to be an open source model, even though we did file a patent, but at the same time, we're issuing a GPU, general public use license, precisely so nobody else could lay claim to this technology. And we are putting out this API protocol very soon so other platforms, including ours, can adopt this non-custodial approach towards gaming, gambling. So it's a tremendous shift in the way things are done, but the large operators are going to have a rough time giving up customer deposits. I was checking out a DraftKings balance sheet, and there's $480 million from client deposits. The protocol, the Web3 protocol, is going to allow all that money to be returned to the players and allow the players to pick from multiple providers compliant with Web3 and our betting protocol to get the best deal, because you might have a line on one platform at 5 points and another platform might be at 4 points. So you might, you really can shop for the best deal, and the situation right now prohibits that or does not allow that, the technology.
Well, best of luck, Rafael. Great to get an update, and I look forward to the next one.
Welcome, everyone. This is your Secure Privacy and Security segment with Elaine Guy, the CEO of Secure Private Data. How are you doing today, Elaine?
Hi, Anna, doing great. Sorry about the background. I'm in New York, traveling, meeting a bunch of partners and investors, but happy to be here.
Well, lots happening for you in Secure, especially this summer, launching a lot of new products. We're excited to hear about them. But let's talk about our weekly hack. The rise of remote work is obvious. It's global. But that also means that people and companies who are working remotely or allowing their workers to work remotely, they're much more vulnerable for cyber criminals. So give us some ways that we can protect ourselves.
Yeah, so what's interesting is since COVID, essentially, when we had to do remote work, we have all been using our home network and, sometimes home computers. And of course, those are not as secure as an enterprise one. And that's a big issue. I mean, I talked about it, I think maybe a while back, where if you call a call center, let's say your credit card, your bank, a lot of those are overseas in India and the Philippines, and these people had to work at home as well. There was a huge wave of hack and data theft overseas with those people that are working from home, and the US is not immune to it. So now that COVID is abated a lot, we still have these hybrid work mode where people will work 2 days a week at the office, or sometimes full on from home. And now that's the problem, and the hackers know that, so they can get into the home network, they can get into your computer, your phone, or remote access tools that they use, what they call RAT attack, and phishing and things like that. So that's a big issue, because you're not in a $80 million building where the latest of technology and security is with your own IT department 2 floors up. This is literally you at home, and if the connection is sometimes even shoddy, right? So it's unsecure, and even if you have a server at home or a router that has some kind of password, the funny part is the most popular password every year is a password. It's odd. The second one, I think, was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So people don't have complex password. People can come into the home router, get into your system. It's easy to do. So you need to use tools on the net that themselves provide you a very high level of privacy and security, typically.
Right, but even on our company's email, that can be vulnerable for a data breach, right? So we've heard of tons of stuff happening with Microsoft and whatnot. So let's break down how Secure comes in to aid in this, especially when it comes to sending and receiving very valuable information that we want private and protected.
Well, it's interesting because you said sending and receive. When we're home, all we do is email. You know, if you're in an office with colleagues, you may go to the next door or, you know, to the office and talk with someone or in a conference room. But now literally everything you do is through email and chat. Let's not forget about chat. Everybody uses those big tech free platforms that are completely unsecure and not private. So you need to think at a different level. You need to have, you know, we provide our secure email and secure messenger, part of the secure bundle. And the reason why we offer a lot more privacy, first of all, we have our own infrastructure, so we don't use the third-party big tech platforms that we mention all the time. We don't do API integration with, you know, gazillion developers to connect to everything, because the more you have an open system, the more somebody can come in and take advantage of it and exploit it and inject malware, etc. So we don't do any of that. And we have our email system that has a secure send feature, which is a really cool feature. You should go to secure.com and then you go to the support and the video tutorial, and there's a video that shows how to use secure send. And secure send is a way for you to send an email to anybody in the world. They get a notification with a little link for them to click, and then when they click on it, they're in Switzerland just like you, because our communication system, nothing leaves our server in Switzerland. So there's no ISP that can read, there's no hacker that can spoof and read in transit anything, right? Because the content doesn't fly around all over the internet. And that's an amazing tool. And we would recommend people to do that. You have to go to our webmail. When you buy Secure, you can go to secure.com, but then you go to Secure Mail, it'll open the webmail. And soon enough, probably by mid-June, we'll have our own email app as well with Secure Send on it. So that's for the email. If everybody uses a Secure, if you have a business, you can migrate your domain to us. We now offer business emails with your own domain names, of course. And then I would recommend to use Secure Messenger when you chat.
Thank you, Elaine.
Thanks, Anna. Happy to be here. Thanks, everyone, for watching our Secure segment.
Glint has developed proprietary technology that enables everyone to buy gold. Gold that's stored in Brink's vaults, insured by Lloyd's of London. With Glint's app and debit card, peace of mind is just a few taps away. It's easy to protect your hard-earned savings, and there are no minimums, hidden fees, or financial advisors required. To learn how to safeguard your future, go to glintpay.com or download Glint from your favorite app store.
Clones in-house can severely drain both quality and costs for cannabis and hemp businesses. PharmaGreen Biotech is the key to growing high-quality plantlets. PharmaGreen services includes premium tissue cultured starter plantlets and live preservation of any plant species. Grow into the future of optimized plant growth with PharmaGreen. See our update at update.pharmagreen.ca. Diversified Marketing Group, a consumer packaged goods company. Discover our world-class brands at 360worldsnacks.com and easylive.com.
PetVivo has a unique tool to treat dogs, horses, and cats suffering from osteoarthritis. And with me is CEO John Lai to bring us up to date on what PetVivo is doing. And I know last time we talked, a few months ago, you were doing a lot of hiring. How is that going?
It's going really well. We talked about hiring 3 and then 5 follow along. And so we hired a regional sales manager for the Midwest West region from Iowa, Nebraska West, and then another one for Midwest East from Illinois going east.
Okay.
And also we hired a regional sales manager covering the Southeast United States, Florida, Georgia, and so on. So we're starting to get good coverage in the area, and these are all very seasoned people. I think the least amount of experience in the veterinary sales, she has 25 years.
Oh, wow.
The other guys are 30 years. They have been national sales directors of other companies in the space and been responsible for hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars in sales in the space.
So let's back up for a second and just tell me a little bit about, we talked about your technology several times, but maybe this is the first time some people have seen it. So explain the spring technology, what animals it's for, and all that.
So we developed a protein particle matrix, which is patented and trademarked, and the name is Spring with OsteoCushion technology. The uniqueness of the technology is we can treat osteoarthritis, joint afflictions, as well as for rehab. We're finding that the rehab time is significantly shorter. So the product is delivered through an interarticular injection into the joint. Once it's injected into the joint, it starts to form a matrix, and it forms a scaffolding, and it mimics the cartilage that used to be there. So it's a purely mechanical function. It's a veterinary device. But from that standpoint, we found that it lasts at least a year, which is unique in its sense, and it's addressing the problem of what's causing osteoarthritis and other joint afflictions.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know you go to a lot of conferences and promote the product. Tell me about where you've been lately, how has it been received?
The product has been received very well. And it's principally, a lot of it is due to veterinary doctors talking within the veterinary network. There's various networks that vets ask questions to each other, and we're seeing a lot of our cases showing up there, and it's leading to vet clinics or veterinarian doctors just calling in to find out about the product, and then they end up ordering it, they try it out, and it's a great conversion ratio we're having.
The good old word of mouth marketing.
Well, that's always the best marketing.
It is.
A referral from a friend.
Right,
the adoption rate is so much higher. So every week we're at a different conference for the veterinary space. Principally, we're focused right now more on the low-hanging fruit, which is the equine side. And from that standpoint is these vets see the horses pretty rapidly, pretty often. They do the injection, the horse goes out and does a rodeo. It comes back in, the vet says, oh wow, this is really holding up. We don't have to do anything to take the stress or pain off the horse. So they end up adopting the product. And the owners love it because it's providing great comfort for the animal, as well as it's a major cost savings because they don't have to tap the joints to drain fluid if there's issues. And we're finding out it's a win-win for everyone.
Yeah, and it's for horses, cats, and dogs.
Horses and dogs. Cats will be coming later.
Okay,
yeah.
Got it. And then there's some clinical studies going on as well?
Actually, there are studies because we don't need the FDA. We're already cleared through them from the veterinary standpoint. So these studies are helping our salespeople from a marketing standpoint because we know the product works. We see how the product outperforms many of the other therapies out there. So we just have to prove it. And that's where really rapid adoption will occur. And it's posted up on our website, springhealth.com.
So that'll give you the data to show to somebody. On the equine side, they're much easier to adopt because they see the results right away. And it's a much tighter community than the canine. Got it.
Yeah.
And then what is Pet Vivo Cares?
So next week, we're launching a nonprofit called PetVivoCares.org. The mission is to donate to other nonprofit organizations to improve the quality of life of the pet. So, target sort of like military dogs, military horses, police dogs, police horses, humane societies. We want to create a better life for the animals and the owners. One classic example is we donated some syringes to a service dog, and the service dog did extremely well. Too well, actually. It jumped the fence. So it became an issue for the owner. The owner goes, now I got to be careful about the dog running like it never could before,
Right.
you know. So
The dog was probably loving that.
I know it's some of the side effects that is interesting that you don't think about.
Yeah.
But it's a good story. It's a good feel-good story.
Right. Yeah. Thank you so much, John, for coming
Thank you,
back.
Jane.
Yep.
Information, truth is power, is freedom, is money, is health, is Newsmax. Millions watch it for free. So can you. No paywall, no subscription. Newsmax is real news for real people.
My name is Gordon. Growing up, my parents taught us about good nutrition and fruits and vegetables, and that was incorporated in my upbringing. Balance of nature allows me to have the servings of fruits and vegetables that I want, and it's just so convenient. One of the things I love to do is watercolor painting, especially now that I'm retired. A lot of times I will stay up at night, caught up in the moment, and the next thing I know, hours have gone by. Balance of nature keeps my mind sharp and alert. It allows me to be creative. It's given me energy to do what I want to do. The most important to me is the peace of mind that I have, knowing that I can have the best health possible.
Start your journey with the best fruit and vegetable.
Well, I'm not sure that it would do any good to say anything to Joe Biden, because we all know that Joe Biden is just a figurehead. We know, even the farmers in this nation know, that there are people pulling strings, and there's actually people that are enjoying what's going on with this current environment of the climate of, you know, the run up in prices, because they think that this is their opportunity to force their Green New Deal down our throats.
And I've got to believe the Green New Deal policies are crushing to the American farmer. You talked about Joe Biden, though. Before I get into that, I want to play a clip from him. This is him bizarrely yelling today in Illinois at a farm. I want to see what you make of this clip.
Remember those long lines you see in television? People lining up all kinds of vehicles just to get a box of food in their trunk. How could we forget? People were hurting. And what does the MAGA crowd want to do? Forget it. Forget it. God is in the United States of America.
So again, blaming the MAGA crowd. I don't know what that has anything to do with farming right now. What do you make of that clip, Shannon Nixon?
Well, I think that Joe Biden is very instrumental in creating food shortages. And, you know, I don't want to be an alarmist, but if things continue the way they're going, we don't have a farm crisis. We have a consumer crisis. And that's what I'm trying to get the message out, that it's not how it affects the farm, it's how it's going to affect the consumer. All we have to do is go back and see how America responded when toilet paper became short. And people went crazy over it. Imagine what that's going to be when they go to the grocery store and there's no food. And you know, that's not as far-fetched as some people might want us to believe.
Yeah, it's a frightening prospect, because if there begins a lot of food shortages, who knows what could unfold in this country, as people are literally fighting for their survival. Shannon Nixon, I appreciate you speaking out on this issue as a farmer. It's more important than ever. Thank you, sir, and good luck to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you for bringing this to light. We need to keep the message going forward.
Hey, here's my promise to you. We will stay on it for you and the rest of the farmers in this country, and like you said, the consumers as well. Thank you, Shannon. The fake news fact checkers have been caught red-handed